चलो start.
करें?
Start.
So second heart sound may be normal, but there may be associated wide splitting of the second heart sound. That is mainly because of right bundle branch block, because of delayed closure of the pulmonary wall. There may be paradoxical splitting, which may be associated with the SS3 pathway, which activates the right side of the ventricular septum.
What are the causes of first heart sound split in Epstein anomaly?
So causes of first heart sound split is mainly the इसमें जो exertion of systolic exertion of the large anterior leaflet is main. Sir, it is not branch kinetic. Large
So
size
there
of
are
right
three causes. Now, one is that there is a right bundle branch block.
No,
Second, there is a
hypokinetic RV.
hypokinetic RV is there.
And
third is there.
Perloff may it is specifically written. It is not just because of this hypokinetic RV.
Yeah, that is correct. But this is also one of the reasons. So there are three reasons. One is RVEV, second is hypokinetic RV, and third is that what you told first, that there is a large ATL, so it takes longer time to for the closure. Okay?
Closure, yes.
So first heart sound, mitral component, tricuspid component. Tricuspid component is getting delayed. Agreed, no? Three reasons you are given.
Yes.
What is happening to the mitral component?
So mitral component is getting soft because of long PR interval.
So what is the other reason?
Sir, the other reason might be because of decreased flow of blood.
Decrease of flow across what? Mitral valve. So one is of course a long PR interval, and second heart sound becomes so loud. Tricuspid components become so loud that it suppresses the first heart sound. Generally,
yes, sir.
Hello.
Sir.
Hello, ji, sir.
So you understand, no? There is a first heart sound. Okay, what else? Anything else?
Bus.
Sir, that.
अभी तो मर्मर्स बतानी है ना?
हाँ सर.
S3 S4 बता दिया?
हाँ ये आ गया ना. Third and fourth heart sounds may be commonly present, but because of prolongation of PR, this third and fourth sound may summate and can mimic as early diastolic murmur. So then there is a systolic murmur in the systolic murmur that is associated with tricuspid regurgitation. It is medium frequency, decrescendo in nature. It is mainly heard at the lower left parasternal area and sometimes at the apex. So why it is decrescendo in nature? The decrescendo nature is because when in the late systole, when the RV pressure is almost there decrease in the as the systole progresses, the decrease in the flow, decrease in the regurgitant flow through the RV to
लो प्रेशर टीयर होता है इसकी वजह से.
हाँ मतलब कि RV से RA की फ्लो की regurgitation फ्लो कम हो जाती है क्योंकि RA प्रेशर काफी हाई हो जाते हैं लेट सिस्टोल में. इसकी वजह से the systolic murmur is decrescendo in nature and it is heard at the apex because large right atrium होता है. That and जो ventricular part होता है वो infundibular part होता है, छोटा सा part होता है and it is mainly towards the apex. That's why it is shifted towards the lower left parasternal area or towards the apex. And इसमें murmur intensity does not increase during inspiration क्योंकि जो there is no increase in inspiratory flow across so your increased blood flow through the RV blood flow increase नहीं होती, इसकी वजह से
नहीं नहीं वो तो इंक्रीज होती है
हाँ
ब्लड फ्लो तो
नहीं, but
बेसिकली
वो-
आरवी जो होता है ना, आरवी इज सो फंक्शनली इनएडिक्वेट ना कि इट कैन नॉट क्रिएट एनी स्ट्रोक वॉल्यूम और रिगर्जिटेंट फ्लो।
फ्लो नहीं कर पाता, हाँ वो मतलब कि इंक्रीज का आउटपुट नहीं बढ़ा पाता उसकी वजह
फंक्शनल
से।
होता है ना इसलिए।
हाँ
So there is a
तो
right ventricle which is pumping antegradally, and there is a severe leak which has a very accommodating utilized part which is behind it. तो जैसे ही RV pump करेगा, RV is optimally already working at its optimal pace to increase the antegrade flow. तो जितना आप increase डालोगे, जितना उसमें fluid और डालोगे, वो regurgitant fraction ही increase होगा. Antegrade flow तो उससे ज़्यादा increase हो ही नहीं पाएगा. So intensity of the murmur is not going to change because it does not really change the RV is already its stroke volume is not able to increase further.
yes sir. So the timing and quality of systolic murmurs and diastolic sounds are occasionally create an impression of pericardial friction rub, and it is also called as rub like systolic murmurs. और सर और कुछ तो नहीं।
No,
Which other
besides this,
condition do you find all four sounds apart from Epstein's? Which you can found? You may hear all four heart sounds.
all four heart sounds.
The
Yes,
split S1, S2 split, S3, S4. So it is given in one of the
PAPVC.
clinical books that in pregnancy, physiological condition, and in TAPVC, pathological condition.
PAPVC.
ठीक और कुछ
and one diastolic murmur is very common, but presence of diastolic murmur are also present in itself. You're saying no? कई बार वो diastolic murmur जैसी लगती है because of these drugs, but diastolic murmur
Yes,
in
sir.
itself are also present. So what are the components of a diastolic murmur? अगर आपने components of a friction rub. अगर आपने बोलना है कि भाई ये चेस्ट पेन के साथ आया, इसको फ्रिक्शन रब हो रही है, और एप्सिन में तो नॉर्मली भी ये आपको डायस्टोलिक और सिस्टोलिक कंपोनेंट्स मिलते हैं, तो ऐसा लगेगा जैसे फ्रिक्शन रब है. तो एक फ्रिक्शन रब है या एप्सिन का ही मर्मर्स हैं, को कैसे डिफरेंशिएट करोगे? बाय ऑस्कल्टेशन. दैट मींस यू शुड नो द कंपोनेंट्स ऑफ अ फ्रिक्शन ऑफ अ डायस्टोलिक रब. रब के क्या क्या कंपोनेंट्स होते हैं?
So friction rub basically has three components. One is systolic, second is early diastolic, and third is late diastolic. Usually in Epstein's, what we get is an early diastolic. Opening snap की जगह सुनाई देती है, ठीक है?
नॉर्मली एप्सिन में यू विल गेट अ सिस्टोलिक, और S3 S4 की वजह से यू कैन ये कई बार डायस्टोलिक मर्मर्स की तरह बिहेव करते हैं, क्योंकि इतनी लंबी लंबी इनकी कंडक्शन हो रही होती है ना. तो बट इफ यू आर गेटिंग ऑलमोस्ट 3 कंपोनेंट्स, यानी ऑलमोस्ट ऐसे कंटिन्यूअस के बीच में थोड़ा सा गैप आ गया है, ऐसी कोई वो आ रही है, so that is but it has got a diastolic component, systolic component, and it also has got a mid diastolic component. Systolic, mid diastolic, and a pre-systolic.
yes sir.
So ऐसे करके ऑलमोस्ट 3 कंपोनेंट्स नजर आ रहे हैं. तो ऑलमोस्ट, तो देन you must be start thinking of this as a cause. It is very important when patients come to you with chest pain in Epstein, and echo में तो कुछ दिखेगा नहीं, ECG में दिखेंगे कुछ ST changes.
Even pericarditis का भी आया तो we have to describe कि हमें 3 component friction rub सुनाई दे रही है, ठीक है?
किसी भी पेरिकार्डाइटिस में आपको 3 कंपोनेंट्स होते हैं, नॉर्मली 2 बोल के लोग रुक जाते हैं.
ठीक है
ECG
ठीक है आगे ECG है सर. So basic ECG characteristics for Epstein anomaly are there is interarterial conduction disturbances, which is evident by right atrial P wave abnormalities and PR interval prolongation. The Himalayan P wave is characteristics for Epstein anomaly, that is huge right atrial P wave. Then there is AV nodal conduction disturbances, mainly defined by prolongation of PR interval. Then there is infranodal conduction disturbances, that is intrahesian or infrahesian conduction abnormalities. Then there is associated right bundle branch flow. Then there is bizarre second QRS attached to preceding QRS. Then WPW syndrome associated with Epstein anomalies mainly of type B. Epstein anomaly may be associated with supraventricular tachycardia, atrial fibrillation of flutter, or atherogenic atrialized right ventricle, as we discussed earlier. There is deep Q waves in lead 1 to 4 and inferior leads. So why there is huge P waves? The huge P wave is mainly because of large right atrium. And because of prolonged aberrant conduction through the large right atrium. And PR prolongation is similarly because of delayed conduction through the large right atrium. Delayed conduction through the large right atrium. Then the infrahesian and intrahesian conduction abnormalities may be associated with the Epstein anomaly, and this intrahesian infrahesian conduction abnormalities mainly because of conduction disturbances caused by the atrialized portion of the right ventricle. But it has been rarely seen that this prolonged HV interval may lead to complete heart block in the cases of Epstein anomaly. So QRS right bundle branch block is also because of this delayed conduction through the atrialized portion of the right ventricle. Bizarre second QRS attached to preceding normal QRS is mainly seen when the QRS originates from different parts of right ventricle, like first QRS originates from atrialized portion of the right ventricle, then the second QRS originates from the normal functioning right ventricle. In such condition, we can see two QRS attached to each other. It has QRS axis is mainly right. It is mainly inferior axis, but it may be splintered or may be deviated to the left side in cases of type B Wolff-Parkinson White syndrome. Supraventricular tachycardia, atrial fibrillation, flutter, and ventricular tachycardia associated with right ventricle we have discussed earlier. So other important thing is deep Q wave that is seen in right-sided precordial leads. It is mainly the electric potential generated in V1 to V4 are mainly shows the right ventricular electric potential, but in this the right ventricular is deviated towards the septum. So in such cases, the Q waves occur in initial leads of V1 to V4. So there are the few examples.
Q waves ka what reason did you give? The Q waves?
Sir, Q waves जो mainly जो V1 to V4 में right sided leads की ventricular potential को वो signify करता है, तो Q waves इसमें इसलिए आ जाते हैं क्योंकि जो functional right ventricle होता है that is towards the left side, क्योंकि small right ventricle होता है और it is deviated towards the left side because of large right atrium. So इसलिए इसमें initial right side में Q waves आ जाते हैं.
So basically, they are they are not appropriate. No, they are not actually showing the right ventricle.
Yes, sir. They are not showing the right ventricle. So इसलिए sometimes वो हमें right ventricular वो old inferior wall MI की तरह भी कुछ उसको suspect करते हैं. तो
पूरा का पूरा जो anterior chest है ना, वो तो atrialized part है, RA है, atrialized RA है. छोटा सा RB नीचे और posterior चला गया है. तो जब आप anterior leads लगाते हो, वो anterior leads atria के ऊपर के बाद सीधा ventricle के कोई ECG को pick करती है. आपने anterior chest leads लगाई, वो सीधा उसको pick करेगी. So you will start getting Q waves. But what will be the characteristic? मतलब how will you know that this is Q wave of LV and not the Q wave of this. What else would you like to see? What about limb
So-
leads, V1 and AVR?
So V1, the QRS in V1 and AVR are similar because of this only.
Yeah. So V1 और AVR का जो होगा वो AVR राइट नीचे से सेंस कर रहा है, V1 एंटीरियर है, और दोनों जो है वो सेम ही चीज को ऑलमोस्ट सेंस करके दिखाएंगे. So
Yes.
you will know that probably your V1 or AVR would be identical.
They're identical. So here are the few examples of ECG. Here we can see this large right atrial P waves, PR prolongation. Then there's Q waves in V1 to V4, and there is RBB type of pattern. Here we can see the initial QRS followed by a bizarre QRS, as we have told earlier, and P waves and PR prolongations. So it has been seen, मैं study का नाम भूल गया. The conduction abnormalities associated with Epstein PR prolongation is around 42%. Right bundle branch flow pattern is seen in 75% to 95% cases of Epstein anomaly. Then supraventricular atrial tachycardia, atrial fibrillation, atrial flutter is present in 25% to 30% of the cases. And WPW syndrome type B is associated in 5% to 25% of the cases. Chest X-ray, there may be associated cardiomegaly with the rounded or box-like contour. There is decreased pulmonary vasculature because there is decreased flow, decreased RV output. The infundibular part is dilated, which may straighten the left cardiac border. And the most consistent is the dilatation of right atrial, which is seen as a enlargement of right atrial silhouette. Here we can see an example of this X-ray. There is dilatation of the right atrial silhouette and this with cardiomegaly. Echocardiography is
ये एक्सरे कहाँ से लिया है?
ये पल्लों से लिया है पल्लों से.
Not very classical, no?
हाँ,
हाँ सर.
hardly any RV enlargement.
I think
There is no
Well,
pulmonary oligemia also. Actually, this is not an Epstein's X-ray only.
Epstein's with
Let's
the
write it. इसको भी लिख लेते हैं कहीं. I think we'll respond to. I have already mailed today to their जो current editor है that we are having your book reading and we'll be sending out a few sessions. वही इसको भी note
CT
कर
ratio
लेना.
is also less than 65.
They should actually put a more classical X-ray.
वो
What
मैं
about the pedicle? Pulmonary artery narrow हो जाती है ना, तो pedicle भी narrow हो जाता है. नीचे dilate हो जाएगा, right atrium use हो जाएगा और pedicle narrow हो जाएगा क्योंकि pulmonary artery में flow जा नहीं रहा है. So it will be you have to actually start distinguishing from pericardial effusions versus Epstein. So how will you differentiate on X-ray whether it is a pericardial effusion or it's a huge X-ray of a Epstein anomaly? What will be the differentiating feature?
So in pericardial effusion there is double shadow.
Costophrenic.
Costophrenic.
Very good. You have to look at the cardiophrenic angle, not costophrenic. Costophrenic तो
कार्डियोफ्रेनिक सर.
lateral border में हो गया ना. Cardiophrenic
Cardiophrenic.
हार्ट का और डायफ्राम का जो एंगल होता है वो एक्यूट हो जाता है, बहुत छोटा एक्यूट हो जाता है जब एफ्यूजन होता है. फ्लूइड है ना, सब बेस पे एक्यूमुलेट हो जाएगा, तो बेस पे एक्यूमुलेट हो जाएगा तो वो एंगल बिल्कुल एक्यूट हो जाएगा. जबकि यहाँ एट्रियल डायलेटेड है, यहाँ इतना एक्यूट नहीं होगा. That is will be a feature. Always look at the cardiophrenic angle. कहाँ है cardiophrenic angle? Since the point is can you point the arrow? तुम्हारा arrow will work now. You are sharing the screen. Point at the cardiophrenic angle. The other side is more important on the right. ये क्योंकि dilatation इधर है. Not the costophrenic angle, which is on the this is it. Take your arrow to the costophrenic angle. You don't look here. You look at the cardiophrenic angle. Okay.
Then
Box-like
echocardiography.
configuration also, na?
Yes, sir.
Box-like
box-
configuration.
Yeah, that is what है पूरा नीचे पूरा ऊपर नैरो सा है और नीचे इतना बड़ा huge atria with
Lasting box configuration.
so it is called a box-like configuration.
So what CT ratio is
Relax, Arif.
significant or is an indication for surgery in neonates and in older children?
Sir, CT ratio is also indication. तो उसमें
SAS score होता है ना, SAS score.
है
SAS
box
No, no,
score
no.
तो
You just cardiothoracic ratio of more than dash is an indication for surgery, whether it is a neonate or in adult, and both the values are different. ठीक है? So for neonate, they say that CT ratio more than 80%, and for older children and adults, CT ratio more than 65%. They are indication for surgery. Okay. So this is one of the disease where X-ray, if you are looking at cardiomegaly, you will send the patient for surgery.
But it's 60% in Moss and Adams.
I think it is 65%, Dr. Neeraj sir, and we have discussed, and I think sir was writing something else also.
Yeah, but in Moss and Adams, it's 60%. No, only one value.
I think it has been discussed.
Acha.
Sir told us 65. कहाँ है sir?
Okay,
Sir
relax
is mute.
later.
Hmm.
Relax later.
चलो we'll ask him. Anyway, चलो.
मुझे भेज दो WhatsApp पे मैं इस पे रिस्पॉन्ड करूंगा.
चलो
हेलो.
हाँ sir.
तो echo
CT ratio कितना मानना है?
Sorry, मैं there was a phone
हाँ.
call of a patient.
Sir, what is the CT cutoff? CT ratio cutoff for surgery? It is 65% or 60%?
तो अभी इंडिकेशंस में आएंगे ना हम लोग.
हाँ,
60, Moss and Adams.
सर्जरी
Let's
का
come to
तो
the indications.
परलॉफ में
We'll come to the indication. Eco में anything?
वही एपिकल डिस्प्लेसमेंट मोर देन 8 वो सर्जिकल तो सर परलॉफ में तो सर्जिकल मैनेजमेंट है नहीं.
ठीक है, whatever we'll discuss in the end. Let's finish it off.
Yes, sir. So apical displacement that is calculated with the displacement of the tricuspid septal portion of the tricuspid valve with that of the mitral anterior mitral leaflet. It is divided by the body surface area, which is more than 8 mm of meter square. It is considered as for the case for Epstein anomaly. There is eccentric leaflet palpation, dilated right atrium, dilated right ventricle with the decreased contractile component, and various left heart abnormalities. So this is how we calculate the displacement index for the Epstein anomaly. Then there is the Seller major index score, which is also known as GOS score, that helps in calculating the mortality. It is RA area with utilized RB area divided by functional RB area plus RB LA area, and it is divided into 4 grades. When the ratio is less than 0.5, and ratio is mortality. If the ratio is 0.5 to 0.99, and grade 3 is 1 to 1.49, and grade 4 is 1.4. So for GOS score of 1 to 2, when the ratio is less than 1, the mortality is 8%. And if the GOS score is better, patient is acyanotic, but the GOS score is 3. Then early in neonatal period, the mortality is 10%, while late it is 45%. If the patient is cyanotic with a GOS score of 3 or GOS score of 4, then the mortality is 100%.
What is the importance of GOS score? How will it guide the surgeon, or will it guide the surgeon?
Sir, it helps in surgery के लिए.
Yeah. what is the importance of Salmer index?
So in Salimir, मतलब कि उसमें we should continue with the prostaglandin infusion until the surgery is not.
So everybody agrees. What is the importance of a Salmer index if you have to?
I guess it is more of
To
choosing the
predict
modality of
mortality.
surgery.
No,
And
it
Prediction
is not
of
going to guide
mortality.
about the surgical outcome. It is
Mortality,
just to
sir.
guide the patient as a long-term mortality. So it is not to
No,
guide
even
prognostic
even
value.
what modality of surgery you want to choose.
No.
No, it doesn't guide for
it does not
Modality
guide
of
the
No, no,
surgical
it-
modality. Surgical modality, whether you have to go for significant ventricle or two ventricle, would be essentially based on how comfortable the
the
ventricle is to
surgeon is
take
with
the
the
load.
repair.
It is not guided by the Goose score at all. Goose score is absolutely to guide the parents and the attendants ki as to how what will be the long-term mortality and morbidity of this.
Sir, MRI can also be done. It provides a complementary information of tricuspid wall anatomy. It provides more reliable information about the atrial RV volume. Cardiac catheterization is not routinely done. It is rarely done in patient who is suspected with pulmonary artery hypertension, and it can be done for hemodynamic for preoperative stratification in such cases, and can also help in determining the other intracardiac shunting such as VSDs or.
What is the catheter
Also to
used?
rule out any.
Just to complete, what is the catheter used which can record the intracardiac ECG with the pressures simultaneously? What is the name of the catheter? आपको कैथ में क्लासिकली क्या दिखेगा? आप अपना कैथेटर लेके जाओगे, आप एट्रियल ट्रेस आपको मिलेगा, एट्रियल प्रेशर्स मिलेंगे. जैसे ही आप और आगे जाओगे आपको वेंट्रिकुलर ECG ट्रेस मिल जाएगा, लेकिन प्रेशर्स एट्रियली मिलेंगे, है ना? So this is the classical for Epstein on a cath. But what is this catheter which can record simultaneously ECG and echo called? Are you aware of the name of this catheter?
Yes, sir. It is Zucker catheter.
Zucker catheter.
Zucker.
It can no more available. I mean, classically, traditionally, it was there. So basically, it is to record the intracardiac ECG with the pressure simultaneously.
Yeah, I downloaded its picture for today's class. I will send it on the group.
ठीक है. और
डिटेल में क्या बोला
बाकी तो सर मैनेजमेंट तो उसके अंदर मैंने मैनेजमेंट के बारे में तो
इंडिकेशन फॉर सर्जरी. दिस इज द लास्ट स्लाइड.
यस सर.
ये लास्ट स्लाइड का लास्ट पॉइंट पढ़ दो, इम्पोर्टेंट है.
Assessment of RV outflow tract is extremely important as recognition of anatomic obstruction for functional pulmonary atresia and guarantees that the fetus will require postnatal ductal flow to support pulmonary circulation.
So what a single finding on RVOT or pulmonary area will decide whether you have to give prostaglandin therapy or not?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
क्या पूछे? आवाज नहीं आई. क्या पूछे?
So what a single finding on echocardiography, neonatal or fetal, will decide on whether you have to give prostaglandin therapy or not in a sick patient.
Probably Mohit wants to ask whether it is acquired for functional atresia or not. But atresia, even significant TR, can have a decreased compromised antegrade flow. You might have small flow which is there that is compromised. Then also you might
I'm
have to
talking
give
about PR, pulmonary regurgitation.
Yes, sir. Pulmonary regurgitation. If there is a severe pulmonary
saying PR.
regurgitation, you cannot give prostaglandin therapy.
So you
Why?
when not to give? Yeah.
Circular.
Yeah.
वो तो it's a circular shunt.
Circular shunt.
Circular.
Okay.
circular circulation is
What will be the close differential diagnosis? There will be two more close differential diagnoses. Now, Ull's anomaly, and secondly would be congenital
Dysplasia of
unguarded,
pressure.
Unguarded
dysplastic
tricuspid valve.
Yeah, unguarded
Yeah.
tricuspid. How will you differentiate the three on echocardiography?
posterior
So,
leaflet arrangement,
Pulse,
मतलब posterior
Yeah.
leaflet देखना पड़ेगा.
What posterior leaflet? What will be the
मतलब
difference?
डिस्प्लेस इन पोस्टीरियर लीफलेट की जो अटैचमेंट होगा वो एक्सिन एनोमली के अंदर वो
In
डाउनवर्ड डिस्प्लेस होगा. उसके अंदर उल्स एनोमली के अंदर देयर इज नो सच डिस्प्लेसमेंट इन द पोस्टीरियर लीफलेट. उसमें जस्ट आरवी जो मायोकार्डियम होती है वो एब्सेंट होती है उल्स में.
So इको में कैसा दिखेगा? मायोकार्डियम तो दिखता नहीं है इतना अच्छे से. It's
हाँ,
very
तो
difficult to
वो जो
differentiate. दोनों ही
कॉन्ट्रैक्शन
thinned out
आरवी
दिखेंगे.
कॉन्ट्रैक्शन इज नॉट देयर.
in congenital unguarded tricuspid valve, there will be no tricuspid valve apparatus, and valve complete absence or only remnants will be there. And the other thing is that RA will be dilated and RV will be hypoplastic. And arrangement of posterior leaflet.
Yeah. What arrangement of posterior leaflet? वही पूछना है.
Posterior leaflet is displaced downward in Epstein, or it is
Yeah,
normal.
displacement of the leaflet. वही specifically है. Displacement of the leaflet would be
Displacement
more in case of this.
Also, the leaflet is
Absent.
thickened in case of dysplastic.
Or
This is the
one is a dysplastic valve, one is Uhls, and another is a Epstein, another is a arrhythmogenic right ventricular dysplasia. They are almost the same spectrum, or everything. All of them are going to present with severe dysplastic tricuspid valve. Septal leaflet and especially the posterior leaflets are not going to get displaced. The leaflet will be thickened, rolled out. The anterior leaflets is generally not very long and sail-like.
Yes.
Most importantly, displacement of posterior leaflet is not there. जिसके लिए आप posterior tilt करके देखते हो. Coming to Uhls anomaly, findings would be almost like unguarded है, फिर तो बात ही clear है, फिर तो आपको tricuspid leaflet दिख रहा है, फिर तो बहुत अच्छा हो जाता है. Third है Uhls anomaly, उसमें myocardium texture is very difficult to differentiate. But yes, again, displacement would be a pointer. Arrhythmogenic
Yes.
right ventricular dysplasia versus Uhls, you cannot differentiate. Well, there are echocardiographic grading of ARVD, which include which talks of the क्या कहते हैं, moderator band being shiny, and there are certain criteria, no, RVOT being ballooned out, RVOT dilatation,
yes,
which point towards
aneurysm is there.
Which point toward RVOT dilatation, unlike Epstein where there's a atrialized portion
It's
getting
like
dilated.
portion of the dilatation.
So that will be a pointer towards the ARVD. Of course, the only way to differentiate is a MRI.
Not again. Yes.
Anything else? Indication for surgery.
Yeah.
So the indication for surgery, class 1 indication is
Natural history रह गई पहले. What is the natural history?
natural history. So it
natural
has been
history.
seen that in neonates the mortality is around 75% related to heart failure, and adults later than 50 years patient may present with arrhythmia. यही था natural history में, तो और ज्यादा कुछ
नहीं, so you have to tell ना कि what is the how
Basically-
many patients will survive at the end of 1 year and how many will survive at the end of 10 years.
हाँ, तो for 20 to 30% of mortality is seen in 1 year, and less than 50% survive
18%.
at the end of 5 years. And early neonate, the most common symptom is heart failure, while later on the patient may present with
कहने का मतलब है what will be the determinants of a long term follow up of a tricuspid valve. ये सब चीजें उसमें लिखी थी, जो गाइडलाइंस बनाई है ना.
हाँ सर, Annals of Pediatric में दिया हुआ है सर.
गाइडलाइंस में लिखी थी. एप्स्टीन तो मुझे ही दिया
Yes,
गया
sir.
था ना.
तभी तो मैं कह रहा हूँ सर, वो एक डाउट था ना सीटी रेशियो वाला, जब मैं
उसमें-
वहां था पोस्टेड
उसमें
65 लिया है हमने उसमें.
That
65.
there is a lot of there's some say 60, some say for practical
So we
purposes
discussed
65.
and we actually reviewed quite a while and we settled at 65.
Yeah, so 65 is the most consensus which is taken for patients who are grown up beyond 2 years of age.
Yes.
So we have to take it these criteria beyond
Stable
2 years
cases.
of age. Yeah, indication for
So
surgery are
bata bhai, what are
symptoms.
the indication?
Yeah.
Indication bata, Mayank,
हाँ तो
in neonates
indication
and
for
in older.
older वाले ही मैंने कोई याद है अभी तो मेरे को तो इन
हाँ
older
बता, older
patients
बता दे.
हाँ patient में indication class 1 indication is patient में present with failure with क्या कहते हैं ये
Failure है क्या?
Failure in what form?
पर
Failure था
मैं-
पहले. Now what do they
right
say?
ventricular failure हाँ right ventricular failure
So even if it is progressive dilatation and dysfunction, na, even not symptomatic. Even if you are
सर
looking
वो
on
class 2 है
echocardiography.
वो class 2 है
तुमने कहाँ से
पढ़ देता
I
हूँ
am
सर
not
मैं
sure.
सबके लिए एक बार सर मैं पढ़ देता हूँ इंडिकेशन एंड टाइमिंग ऑफ ट्रीटमेंट फॉर ट्रीटमेंट
There are 5 indications. Verbatim बोलनी है. ठीक है?
भाई जैसे पेशेंट आया अंदर उसको देखो सिम्टोमेटिक है पहली की जांच हो गई तुमने उसका ऑक्सीजन लेवल देखा ब्लू है सैचुरेशन 90% हो गई
Sinus.
हिस्ट्री लेनी शुरू की पैराडॉक्सिकल एम्बोलिज्म की हिस्ट्री है या वो एक प्रॉब्लम और पैराडॉक्सिकल एम्बोलिज्म क्लास 3 हो गई आपने सीटी स्कैन लगाया सीटी स्कैन में कार्डियोमेगाली दिख गई मोर देन 65 और उसके बाद इको किया और आपने देखा कि इसका आरवी डिसफंक्शन पहले से एक्सिलेट हो रहा है तो दीज आर द 5 इंडिकेशंस जैसे घुस रहा है उस इन ऑर्डर में उसी टाइम से लेते जाओ सिम्टम्स साइनोसिस
Arrhythmias.
पैराडॉक्सिकल
Arrhythmias
एम्बोलिज्म
भी.
सीटी सॉरी
Megaly and progressive dilatation of
these are the major 5 surgical indications other classes if it is symptomatic in the form of arrhythmias catheter आपने ablation किया है and in spite of catheter ablation patient is not responding then you go for surgery and do a maze and all those procedures simultaneously and repair the valve
सर ये मैंने एक प्रेजेंटेशन बनाई थी लास्ट ईयर उसमें था ये कंजेनिटल हार्ट डिजीज इन एडल्ट्स के अंदर इंडिकेशन फॉर सर्जरी तो ये 2018 की गाइडलाइन थी
ये उससे है ना
तो
this is ACHD guidelines ना
यस सर
हाँ हाँ हाँ.
तो
ये तो
इसमें
ACHD
क्लास
guidelines
1
है।
इंडिकेशन